DEI policy emerged from affirmative action in the United States. The legal term affirmative action was first used in Executive Order No. 10925, signed by President John F. Kennedy on the 6th of March, 1961, which included a provision that government contractors take affirmative action to ensure that applicants are employed and employees are treated fairly during employment, without regard to their race, creed, color, or national origin. In September 1965, President Lyndon Johnson issued Executive Order 11246, which required government employers to hire without regard to race, religion, and national origin, and take affirmative action to ensure that applicants are employed and that employees are treated during employment without regard to their race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Neither Executive Order nor the Civil Rights Act authorized group preferences. The Senate floor manager of the bill, Senator Hubert Humphrey, declared that the bill would prohibit preferential treatment for any particular group, adding, "I will eat my hat if this leads to racial quotas." In the famous Baca decision of 1978, regents of the University of California v. Baca, diversity now became a factor in constitutional law. The Supreme Court ruled quotas were illegal, but it was allowable to consider race as a plus factor when trying to foster diversity in their classes. Diversity themes gained momentum in the mid-1980s, at a time when President Ronald Reagan threatened to dismantle equality and affirmative action laws in the 1980s. Equality and affirmative action professionals employed by U.S. firms, along with equality consultants, engaged in establishing the argument that a diverse workforce should be seen as a competitive advantage rather than just as a legal constraint. Basically, their message was, do not promote diversity because it is a legal mandate, but because it is good for business. In 2003, corporations spent $8 billion annually on diversity. In 2011, Barack Obama signed Executive Order 13583 concerning diversity and inclusion. After the election of Donald Trump in 2016 and the ascent of the Me Too and Black Lives Matter movements, Time magazine stated in 2019 that the DEI industry had exploded in size. Within academia, a 2019 survey found that spending on DEI efforts had increased 27% over the 5 preceding academic years. One 2020 estimate placed the size of the global diversity and inclusion market at $7.5 billion, of which $3.4 billion was in the United States, projecting it to reach $17.2 billion by 2027. 2021. Joe Biden signed several executive orders concerning DEI, including Executive Order 13985 and Executive Order 14035. In 2021, New York Magazine stated, "The business became astronomically larger than ever," after the murder of George Floyd in May 2020. The Economist has also stated that surveys of international companies indicate that the number of people hired for jobs with diversity or inclusion in the title more than quadrupled since 2010. As of 2024, affirmative action rhetoric has been increasingly replaced by emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion, while 9 states explicitly ban its use in the employment process.